So now we're putting all the stuff that you've learned into use in a piece that's really hard. I don't know if you've played this or you've taught it, but it's a pain in the neck because it's so hard. But I'm always fascinated with it because it has so many touches. It's amazing that way. Okay, so now, it looks pretty daunting, I have to say. All those accents and crummy chords, but we haven't even gotten to the object yet. This part here, oh, help. Okay, and then we got this ending. Okay, we'll just skip and do another piece. No, we're going to do this one. All right, so now let's see how we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. Now we're going to start at the beginning. Okay, so now here I'm going to go fairly slow. All right, we're going to do downs and then grab ups. Can you see that? And in the second line, we're going to do shove, release, and shove, hold. Got it? All right, so let's see if I can do that. Did you hear it? Okay, could you tell that the difference between the downs and the shove? Not a lot of difference, but there's a difference in how I played it. One I went down, one I went a little forward with it, okay? And then these definitely were up, and let me tell you how helpful that is with this piece. Oh my heavens. Because look at these horrible chords, you know? So if you have these chords, that's how your kids will do it, trying to find out where the chords are, okay? But if they're on that, and then you can even have them wait, get it, wait, get it. So it would be wait, get it, get it, get it. You'll always get them right because they're on the chord before they play it. And if they do up touches, they have to be on the chord. And that little, you know, that's the thing, we always keep thinking they have to stay right within the meters. No. I call it stretching. You're stretching to get it right, and then you slowly get it back into the meter. But that stretching allows them to get it right. You don't want them practicing wrong all the time. And then they get a little more relaxed with it. That's section 1. All right. The notorious octaves that are a second apart. Yes. This may not be good. All right. So now, first of all, how to approach this. And if they do it without thinking about touches, you know, they're just going to go up. Okay, and that's what it's going to sort of sound like. Okay. Hey, it's done pretty well. I thought maybe I should go there. Okay, so now let's do it with the touches so we get some defining. And so this is up. And this is a place release, all right? Now, these are ups. And they're just touches. I have to say, if you have a large hand, you could actually do this with the toss. I'm going to show both ways. My hands are small. An octave is hard for me. So here's the up touch, which I'm just doing the surface, except for the last ones. Now, if I did toss, see, it's a little hard for me. But if you have big hands, you know, that's what Clyburn was doing, and Horowitz, hello. You see them doing that with octaves all over the place. Okay. So anyway, all right, now here we go. This part, okay. All right, so here, the hef, and if you do this with touch up, where if you did it regular, it's very sloppy. So the touch up is perfect, because you're on the note before you play. That's the notorious section. Okay, and then, I'm hoping that's a laugh because you're so happy that I'm doing well.
We are. We're just consider the first way as a gamble.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't.
That's the kind of thing like when the student wants to play this at a recital, I say, no, let's play something else. All right, so, and how can you play that relaxed, you know? That is one way that's somewhat relaxed because they are octaves. All right, here we go. Now the double piano. So it goes from this triple piano where we got accents, to double piano. Well, we have the scratch touch that we can use. Okay, and the little holding. Okay, so here it would be with that. Watch this. Don't watch that. See? It really works. Okay, even the up stuff don't work there. You get in the way. the other. Oh, but this is soft. Okay, now, the end. All right, so now here. Okay, ready for this?
Yeah.
When you have a difficult run in anything, Chopin, Bach, Beethoven, whatever, choreograph it with the touches. In other words, usually everybody, the minute they get there, they tighten up and hope for the best till they get to the end. Okay? All right, so here we go. All right, so here, I'm going to do this in little bits and pieces. Okay, so the first is simple. See that? Now I'm going to go to rotate. And then I'm going to go to articulate. Whoops. Let me try it again. Okay, here we go. And simple. Rotate. With the articulate. Okay. Now, some versions of this have you go really loud at the end. Some versions still have you go all the way soft. It works both ways. So here, I'm going to do it all soft. It's easier when you go soft. All right, now I'm going to do it loud. Simple. Rotate. And the nice thing about the articulate at the end is that you know you're going to get those notes. You're going to really listen for those notes. Okay, and then we end. All right, I did it. Okay, but what I wanted to show you is how these touches help you technically, you and your students. Because you can see, oh, why am I not getting this? Why am I not getting this? And also the idea of literally choreographing yourself through something. Mm-hmm. You find that that's helpful? She's one of my students now. Amazingly talented and wonderful teacher. And so she got roped into coming because I told her I was doing this. So maybe you can rope her into joining the club. Anyway, so I wanted to show you that because it's useful, not just because I want you to buy the books, I want you to buy the books, but because I want you to learn how to do these things, and you've got that little handout that does it. And you can see that now it really is more colorful. It really is more colorful. And the students now, oh my heavens, if you have little performance classes and they're learning about this, it's amazing what happens with them. I had gotten to a point in my college studio where I would have students close their eyes, and then the student would play, and I'd say, okay, can you describe what touches they were using? And they could describe just by knowing what they're hearing. Students just don't listen with that kind of intensity, but we can teach them that. We can teach them that. Okay, questions?
I don't have a question, but I have an extra comment. The other thing that I think is wonderful about this is that you give them language. Mm-hmm. So it's not just staccato, it's certain words of description, and that really helps identify this specific touch.
Yeah, but if you say, well, oh, look at this piece, it's a staccato. And then the thing that I love is that you can have the students, they bring out the little polka or whatever, and you say, okay, oh, look, it's a staccato piece. What kind of staccato should we use? Mm-hmm. You know, and how loud should it be? Where are you going to play if you're going to play it that loud? Or how that's not where you're going to play the key? And then they know exactly what to do, and they are in control of that. It's not, and they're thinking about it, and they're listening for it. That's what's important, that listening quality. Because so many times, oh, I forgot the dynamics, you know, and they won't forget them now, and the touches will be part of that also.